Get ready.
Right, the Hambleden Pairs Challenge Cup, Croatian Rowing Federation. Jurkovic's, Ivana and Kasipa, who are in the boat in the distinctive Croatian colours to the left. Go. And then in the opposition boat, University of Western Australia, West Australian Rowing Club, Patten and Cox. Important to emphasise that is Bromwyn Cox rather than A Cox. Very confusing, this sport.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you have names of positions in the boat. You know, a lot of experience between both of these crews, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out just in terms of, you know, their international experience. So I don't expect either crew to get rattled, but we'll see. Right here, you have some great rowing being done by that University of Western Australia.
Did you ever row with a bow or a stroke? Anyone named bow or stroke?
I may have rowed with a bow before,
okay.
But it was...
Must have been very confusing.
It was, especially because they sat in the bow seat.
I presume you never rowed with a 3-seat. So here we are, the lead boat from Australia. As who we're talking about, Bromwyn Cox in the stroke seat and Georgia Patten in the bow seat. Tokyo Olympian in the women's 8 came 5th, and Paris women's 8 as well came 4th. So good work from her. The experience is there.
Yeah, just some great rowing here. Really doing a great job of accelerating the boat.
Let's drop in and have a look at the Jurkovic boat here. This is the Croatian boat.
Seagulls trying to keep pace with the boat there.
I don't know if it's just a gull or a seagull here. We're a long way from the sea.
Fair point. Do you call them river gull?
Jurkovic is... Gotta love the Croatian colours, haven't you? That red and white.
Lovely kit. Always tried to get some.
So they're moving well, but have a look round to the lead boat, Patten and Cox, Australia boat. And there you can see Temple Island and Hambleden Valley fading into the distance. Beautiful sight, that.
This gull is following the race down the course.
This is a good one. Georgia Patten and Bromwyn Cox. It's a nice rhythm, isn't it, mid-race?
Yeah, and it looks like the sisters are from sunny
Dalmatia, the Dalmatia coast in Croatia,
Yeah.
Their coach has only been with them for 3 months, so relatively new to it. In the Croatian boat. The Australians having the upper hand at this stage, though. Western Australian Rowing Club, University of Western Australia. In lovely Perth. Good evening to you if you're tuning in over in Western Australia. Tea time in Perth. One of my favourite cities in the world, definitely.
There you go.
Beautiful place.
So right now, both boats are quite far apart. You can see them actually starting to both tend into the boom, and this is going to get interesting right here.
Yeah, they've got...
As you can see, they're going to have to make an adjustment.
A little glance across, and that could be costly, because the Croatians, just whilst we've been talking, have put on a significant surge here, haven't they, and turned the race around. So the Australians were enjoying it, but because of the oversteering that they've had to do, we've got to keep an eye on the Croatians, actually, with their blades as well, getting pretty close to their boom on the right-hand side of the picture. But that's cost the Australians dear, hasn't it? That little flirtation with the boom.
Yeah, and that could change the momentum. Right now, they were in a nice rhythm. They had a nice lead. But right now, it looks as though the Croatians are trying to take advantage of that. Both boats seem to be moving a little bit off course, but right now, if the Croatians can continue to hang on, continue to move, they might be able to put a little bit of doubt into that Western Australian crew.
So the Jurkovic sisters have turned the race around, and now they're sitting really well on the water, aren't they? That's a perfect racing line. Safety away from the boom and half a length up on the Australian boat.
Yeah, and it looks like they have some real momentum right now. With each stroke, they're inching out a little bit more. We'll see if Western Australia, it looks like Western Australia is not going to let them go that easily, though, and they're trying to put on a move of their own.
Oh, they've got a serious scrap going on here on the water. A proper fight. And Australia, Western Australia, back up level. This is a bit of mid-race excitement, isn't it? We're just toying. Who's going to have the upper hand going in front of the enclosures in that last couple of 100 metres? At the moment, it's the Croatians. You can see there, they've got quarter of a length up, but University of Western Australia, Western Australian Rowing Club, full of fight, having led.
Yeah, that Croatian crew is looking really relaxed right now. They're sending those puddles right down the boat, accelerating together. Right now, this is a great shot overhead. You can see the side-by-side racing. Pretty soon, they're going to be in front of the regatta enclosure, and there's going to be excitement and energy from the crowd, and that's where moves will be made.
Well, they won easily yesterday, the Croatians. If they win today, it'll be anything but easy. A dominant display from them yesterday, a more exciting display today. They've got a little bit of clear water there, just about, definitely a length up. European Championships, third place in the women's pair earlier on this summer, out in Plovdiv in Bulgaria. Here at Henley, they're looking good for a place in the final of the Hambleden Pairs Challenge Cup, but the Australians are fighting it out, trying to capitalise on any error that might pop into that Croatian boat.
Yeah, and for a moment it looked as though the Australian boat was starting to claw back, and it looked as though the Croatians saw that and started to make a move of their own. And as you right now, you can hear the crowds are going to start to play a role. Can the Australian boat use that energy to maybe inch up a little bit more? Right now, it looks as though those two sisters, the Jurkovic sisters, are in a great place and moving along well.
Cox and Patten in the boat nearest to the camera here, in second spot at the minute, will be frustrated because the first 3/4 of the race it was so tight. It was anyone's, wasn't it? And then they had that decisive move from the Croatians, which coincided with some steering issues from the Australians. Perhaps not a coincidence that the two things happened at the same time. And good work from the Jurkovic sisters, who are not too far away from the finish. There's issues with the steering again, in as much as the Australian boat is pretty much tucked directly behind the Croatian boat, so there's going to be a bit of dirty water and puddles coming their way.
Yeah, you get a little bit of that wash, which means you have to row more technical, which is harder as you bring the stroke rating up. So right there, you want to have a little bit of clear water as you go into that final sprint.
Ivana and Josipa Jurkovic, the Croatian sisters, who have done well on the international circuit this season already, into the final of the Hambleden Pairs Challenge Cup. Success on the Saturday. Over the line they go in a very central position on the water. Coming in second, the Australians, which will be frustrating for them because the first 3/4 of the race they were right in that. In fact, they led for a good proportion of the race, but it's the Croatians, who are through until the Sunday. They'll be here